You're here for Learn and Grow with PRC Saltillo, online resources for everyone. I'm Beth Waite-Lefevre. I'm an ASHA certified speech language pathologist, and I have the RESNA assisted technology credential, and I'm a training and implementation specialist with PRC Saltillo. I'm happy to be here tonight with my manager, Kirk. I'll let Kirk tell you about himself.
I'm Kirk Benke. I'm the training and implementation manager for PRC Saltillo, and just really glad to be here tonight. My disclosure is that I am also an assistive technology specialist through RESNA, the assistive technology practitioner credential.
And both of us are salaried employee owners of PRC Saltillo, and neither one of us have any non-financial relevant relationships regarding AAC that would affect the outcome of tonight's training to share with you. So if you want a certificate, you want to make sure that your Zoom name is your first and last name. And in about 2 weeks, check back into Learning Journey where you signed up for this course. And there was a handout that you could have downloaded for tonight, and there will also be a certificate. Our staff has to check the attendance, and then you will get a certificate of attendance, like I said, in a couple of weeks. But make sure your Zoom name is the correct first and last name. Our learning outcomes for this course, after our time together, you'll be able to list 6 online resources from PRC Saltillo that support AAC implementation. You will be able to describe 3 ways to locate AAC lesson plans and activities that support AAC implementation. And you'll be able to summarize 2 options for online professional development using AAC Learning Journey. So we have these great online resources that we want to make sure that you are aware of. So we're going to spend time looking at each of these this evening. Again, taking your questions if you have questions about them. We're going to talk about Explore AAC. AAC Language Lab, we'll talk about the chat corner word power supports on our Saltillo website. We'll talk about implementation ideas that you'll find at prcprintroom.com. Realize Language, which is another super site for data logging. If you don't know about this, this is like a mind blower. So you will love to see this. And then, of course, AAC Learning Journey, which is our new online portal for learning. And that's how you signed up for this course. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Kirk so he can tell you about some other great resources.
I am going to share my screen real quick. Okay, great. Thanks, Beth. So hopefully you're all seeing my screen. This is our prc-saltillo.com site. And so if you're not familiar with this, it's kind of our starting off point, if you will, of where we are on all our resources. Just to give you a general idea, if you don't remember all of these websites that we're talking about tonight, if you see this little waffle in the upper left-hand corner of the site, if you click on that, you'll see all of our sites, all of our websites here, our sister websites that we're going to be talking about, such as, the Realize Language one, the Explore AAC, the AAC Language Lab, some of the other, the coaching piece, the AAC Learning Journey and things like that. So all of these will be up here in this little waffle in the upper left-hand corner. So that gives you a little sort of shortcut, if you will, to get to any of our sites that we're talking about tonight. Also on our sites, and this is our new site, but this is about an accessibility menu. So on the way over here on the right-hand corner, if you click on that little guy in the circle, you'll notice that if you need to see the website with different contrast, you can invert the colors, you can use dark contrast, etc. If you need bigger contrast, if you need bigger text, you could just click on here and toggle through the text sizes. If you are one that needs text spacing, so you need a little bit more text spacing, you can add those there. Different types of fonts, you can pause or animation, you can make a big cursor. So there's a really nice bunch of features that you can make for your accessibility. So next we have Explore AAC. Now, Explore AAC, or Explore Augmentative and Alternative Communication, is a site that we have for a lot of people and for a lot of individuals. So it's really an easy to use website that just provides a simple explanation to what is augmentative and alternative communication. So if you kind of follow us through here, so the start page here, we have a what is AAC, who uses AAC, give it a try. So it talks a lot about, who it is, who it's for, and how can I use it. Just one of the examples I wanted to show here is something about who uses AAC. So if I click here, we also have some of our ambassadors who are AAC users who talk about their either disability and or the way that they communicate. And we also have embedded videos on here. So it's a really great way to just, again, get more familiar with augmentative and alternative communication. Also up here in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Find Your Consultant. So if you don't know your regional AAC consultant from PRC Saltillo, you click on that, and then you go ahead and just go into North America, and just assuming everybody's from North America. I probably shouldn't assume that, but we do have international as well. But let's say, for example, I wanted to go into Pennsylvania where I am. Here's all of your individuals who cover Pennsylvania. So that's exploreraac.com. Our next resource that we want to talk about is our AAC Language Lab. Our AAC Language Lab is a plethora of different types of resources to support your AAC user in a number of ways. So it's a comprehensive resource. It provides information on language stages, lesson plans, activities, curriculums, etc. So we do a lot with the Language Lab here in our little group as well. So we have our lessons and we have different types of activities. So if I were to go into lesson plans here, I could actually pull down some lesson plans that are associated with somebody who might be using an AAC device. So let's say, for example, if I'm on if I'm a stage 1 communicator, which we have different types of stages here. If I click on stage 1, you'll see that you can get some things that are basically surrounding a stage 1, using single words, using adding more words, using word families, seeing things all about me. Let's go ahead and just click on all about me for a second, just so you can kind of get an idea of what all of these curriculum ideas are for in these lesson plans. So we have lesson plans. There's 16 documents on here, and this is something about speaking, that you can do a fun phrase into a device. And then there's other things on reading and writing and extension curriculum that you could look at here for that. You also have objectives here, the materials that are needed, and also some vocabulary targets. So if you're targeting some vocabulary, you can look at that. Now, sometimes we just have whole webinars on just the Language Lab, so I'm only allowed to spend so much time on this one, but for tonight. But hopefully, you'll see that the AAC Language Lab is a great way to start gaining some access to some lesson plans, some different activities to help your user learn about the vocabulary that's on their device, and also gain access to it, and also have access to some curriculum, some limited curriculum. We do have some programs and curriculum like Unique Learning, News to You. So if you're a News to You person and you have papers that come in, we also have different types of papers that are here that are based on the language that they might be using, such as Unity 60 sequence, Unity 84 sequence, or LAMP Words for Life full. Also on the home page, we have something called a language screener. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about the language screener, it's getting started. It's under language screener. And then what you can do is you can take, if on a paid version, and the subscription is $19.95 per year for one license, that's $19.95. You can use the language screen wizard, or if there's also a free version, which you can just print the language screener checklist. And that would be a blank checklist for helping you identify what stage your communicator may be in, to help with identifying lessons and plans for gaining access to that. Under blog, and if you go to our ambassadors, you'll see our whole page of ambassadors that we have available to us, who are augmentative and alternative communicators. and they have volunteered and also will be paid if they get to speak, that we contract with, so that they can have access and they can tell their stories about how they either gain their communication, or how they use their communication devices, or what they do in their vocation or in higher education, or whatever they do with that. So we do have a huge list of ambassadors that can tell your story. So Kylie is one of our newer ones. So if I click on Kylie, you can see her picture, you can see a video of her, and then also read about her and what she's like. So that's our AAC Language Lab, again, in a nutshell, because just about time. And Beth's going to take it over and talk about our chat corner.
So we talked about the PRC Saltillo corporate website. And I'm just going to run through real quick. We did explore AAC. So just kind of recap, it's an easy to use website that provides an introduction to AAC. It's for anyone new to AAC. And you can share it with families, classroom staff, peers, administrators. Explore AAC is totally free. The Language Lab, the last one that Kirk just showed you, comprehensive resources. We didn't have time to go through everything. We have a course on Learning Journey called Diving In to the AAC Language Lab. It's free. It's a self-guided tour. You could take that if you'd like to learn more. We've got Spanish support, supports for word power, MinSpeak, Unity, Language for Life. So lots of stuff on there. It's really for anyone who wants to support AAC learners and have implementation ideas, lesson plans. And again, you can use that language screener Kirk showed you. You can download lessons, and there's actually some literacy programs on there. So I'm going to tell you about Chat Corner. And it is a resource on the Saltillo website that has lots and lots of activities. They've been designed with the word power vocabulary. However, they're good implementation instruction, which can be used with any kind of support. It's designed, again, for families, educators, classroom staff, SLPs, anybody who wants to support somebody with implementation. And you can download different resources on there. I'm going to show you the Saltillo calendar, Active with AAC, and some of the Let's Teach core resources that are on here. So let me get out of here so I can pull that up. So this is saltillo.com. Here's our little access man that Kirk showed you on the other website. So that's on here as well. And if you'll look across the top here, you'll see a tab that says Implementation. And underneath that, this is Chat Corner Word Power Supports. There is so much on here. So the calendar is a great resource. It's free to you. You'll see we've got several years of them here. The 2023 one's not out yet, but the 2022 one was here. And you can actually look at the calendar. You can download it. And it has different activities. And last year's was all about science experiments. Some really fun things you can do. It talks about using the TAP method, where you can, when you can model phrases with someone, you can talk about it, ask a question, acknowledge with a response, and propel the conversation. So each month there's going to be a story. You've got some target words to teach and model. And this version, because it's about science, there's going to be a cool science experiment you can do. So again, this is totally free to you on Chat Corner. And so here's all those calendars. Again, we've got back calendars. And even though it's a calendar, the activities are timeless. So check those out. Another one I want to show you is Active with AAC. So if I click on Active with AAC, I'm going to get a list of all these different topics. So these are already created topics. So you might look through here and see something that your AAC learner likes to do. Let's say they like dinosaurs. So I'm going to select that one, and it's going to bring up a PDF of an activity I could do about dinosaurs. So down the left-hand column, I'm going to see core words. So these are those common words, 80% of the words that we use in language. And then the materials. So you might need some dinosaurs, some accessories, your learner, the device. And these are some of the word power symbols that they're talking about. Now, again, you could use this with anything, and I'll show you a PRC version in a minute for MinSpeak. But across here, you'll see there's some reasons to communicate and some examples of words you could use when you're playing with dinosaurs. Single words, go, you, I, get, want, up, colors, put. You could put those in 2-word and 3-word phrases. So it's a nice activity just to have around the house or to have in a classroom when you've got that 5 minutes of, okay, things are running amok and I need to do something because, somebody's running this way and the teacher has to leave the room for a reason. And so just have some of these printed off and ready to go. There's some extra little dinosaur pictures you can print out if you want to use a low-tech version. Again, that's on Chat Corner, and there's just all kinds of these. Okay, one more thing I want to show you on Chat Corner is, actually, I'm going to show you two more. Let's Teach Core. Okay, these are all individual words. How do you teach this word? Okay, let's look for the word good. All right, so it's going to tell you how to teach the word good. You're going to find it on your device. You're going to introduce the word by modeling it. You're going to encourage your communicator to use it by maybe reading a book or talking about it in a song or describing a food, and create opportunities for them to use them. Lots of good information you can use with any vocabulary system on how to teach a core word. So that was found under Using Core Words. Let's Teach Core Words. Okay, in the middle, these are all links to YouTube. I'm not going to go to these, but these are stories, read aloud stories that go along with that calendar. So in the July 2021 Saltillo calendar, there was a story called Bear Came Along. And if you click this link, you'll go to YouTube and you'll listen to the story read out loud. And there'll be some symbols within the story in the video that you can look at. So these are very popular with parents and teachers alike. Okay, so that's Chat Corner Word Power support. You go to saltillo.com, implementation, Chat Corner, and you have a handout that has links to all these resources that we're showing you. So we're going through them quickly, but you do have access to these, and this is all free that's on here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and talk about the PRC implementation activities. These are activities that are created for those supporting LAMP Words for Life and Unity vocabularies. They're specific with those symbols, but like I said, good implementation can be used across the board. So it's been designed for those who use LAMP Words for Life and Unity, but anybody can use it. You can come up with the ideas and use it with other vocabularies. And how can you use it? Well, you can download the literacy planner, which I'm going to show you. You can complete simple monthly activities. We've got Active with AAC using the LAMP Words for Life symbols. And then you can look at some of the other implementation activities that we do have. Okay, this is our printrom.com website. And I'll just show you since I'm here. If you go to PRC Advantage and down to Pass, that's where you can download that emulator that lets you create smart charts. You can download it to a Windows computer or a Mac if you're running a Windows emulation software. Okay, so that's where that is if you want to look into that. Chat Editor is available back on the Saltillo site, so you could get to it there. But what I want to show you on here, if you go over to Caregiver Resources and down to Activities, okay, implementation activities, these are all free. Have any of you ever used the literacy planner, the AAC literacy planner that we put out? This is where you would download those. So we've got the past one, the 2021 was the first one, 2021, this is 2022, and 2023 will be coming out actually in a few weeks. If you look at the planner, it's designed to be used with 12 books. There's core words and fringe words to use, and then each book has a lesson plan. So you've got your target words, a bonus skill, objectives, the materials you need, and then the red words are the words you would model when you're reading a story. And then you've got extension activities. So we've got sensory. This is all about animals. So every month there's a link to a zoo that you can check out some animals. You've got a craft and a writing activity. There's always a tip from an AAC communicator or someone who supports them. And there's things you can download on the same site to use with this. But this is all free and it's on the PrintRom website under Caregiver Resources and Activities. So the literacy planner will be here. The new one will be here. Okay, Active with AAC. Remember I told you about that? If I go here, these are those same activities that we talked about. So if I click dinosaurs, now if you're familiar with LAMP Words for Life or MinSpeak, you're going to see that these symbols are going to look like that. And they actually, there's a low-tech board you can download if you want. Again, the same words. It's just we have them in a different format there. There's some implementation activities on here. Now, don't let the years scare you. These are going to have years that say 2020 and 2021. However, they're not really dated activities. They're more for the month. So if we go into October, we're going to pull up an activity that's about making monster toast. So if I pull this up, it's going to give me some words I can use and some smart charts. This is going to give me a QR code to a YouTube channel that will help me see if I want to add a word into my software if I don't have it. But all these activities every month are going to have something that's related to the theme of the month, and you'll have all the words and the smart charts there. Okay, so that was back on the PRC site, again, for implementation activities. Again, these are free. You can explore them at your leisure. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is Realize Language. Realize Language is sometimes, I think, one of our most underused resources, and truly it's amazing. It's an online service that uses what's called data logging on a speech generating device. What data logging does is it captures what's been said on the devices, captures the button strokes, the keystrokes. And data logging by itself is really ugly. It's just text and colons and capital text, and it looks, it's very difficult to decipher. So Realize Language is actually a service that takes all that raw data and puts it into some really useful charts that can help us figure out information about what this person is saying. It is a subscription fee. It's actually $9.95. So you'd save 5 cents on what I have down here. But for $9.95 a year, or if you get one of our dedicated devices like a NovaChat or an Accent or a VIA, it's included. And so is the Language Lab for a year. So who is this for? Well, again, parents, families, SLPs, educators, anyone who wants to learn more about how an AAC learner is using the language on their speech generating device or their app. When I worked in public school, we used this all the time. We showed the charts on the big projector in the IEP meeting to talk about progress and to make it visual so we could really see the words that our person was using. So you can learn the most frequently used words and what kinds of words. Are they nouns? Are they verbs? Are they adjectives? You can see the time of day those words are used. You can find out if the AAC learner is trying to spell words, which is really awesome. And you can create a custom word list, and that will let you see how often those words are used. And it's great for monitoring progress over a specific time period. So there's just lots of different ways you can use this. I'm going to pop out here and we'll go look at the Realize Language website. Okay, realizelanguage.com. Now I will tell you, Russell Cross, who is the developer of Realize Language and is a language guru for PRC Saltillo, he does monthly trainings for free on Realize Language. So he's got another one coming up in a couple weeks in October. You can find that on AAC Learning Journey, or if you go to realizelanguage.com, you can actually find it by going to training services here as well. It's interesting to hear him because he developed it and he can give you a really good overview of it. The idea is that you're going to turn on data logging, which is a feature in your app or your dedicated PRC Saltillo device to capture those keystrokes. And then what you'll find out is you'll be able to see information about those keystrokes. So you'll get these reports. So this is an example. You'll see here on the left is a word cloud. Now, type in the chat, what words do you notice in that word cloud? What really pops out at you? Okay, the word yellow, yep. Yep, star. Okay, so the bigger the word, the more often it was used. Isn't that cool? So when I worked in public school and when I did private practice, we would print these out and the kids would put them on the fridge. Like these are the words I said this week. I worked with an ABA therapist, and when I would go to the home to see my client for therapy, she would be like, I'm so excited to see the word cloud because this week he has been saying the word go, I swear, all day long. And I want to see how big the word go is this week. So this is a nice visual representation of the words and which words were used the most. And that changes over time. You also get the middle box there tells us how many times how many words were used during the day. So you can see that Monday was a bigger talking day maybe than some of these other days. And then the bottom little chart there tells us the kinds of words. So this is a great way. Like if I were looking at this person, I might go, well, they're using lots of nouns, and I think I might want to write a goal to beef up their adjective use. Or maybe I want to make a goal that they're going to use a pronoun and a verb. So this changes over time. That data is always changing. And this chart then tells you the time of day. And if this were live and I clicked on this little blue box, it would tell me what was said during that time frame. So this is a great way, again, to look at the data. And, I might look at this big chunk of time here as an SLP and think, I wonder what's going on here. And it gives me a chance to then have that conversation, because I might find out that, he went home sick that day. And so this was a big chunk of time when he wasn't feeling well. And then when he got home, he took a nap, and oh my goodness, from 4 to 8, we couldn't shut him up. So it's a great way to kind of, again, look at language and help you figure out what are the goals we need to make? What's the progress? How are we going to plan for implementation? So Realize Language is a great product to let you do that. Lots of resources on here. There's a starter guide. There are a few things you have to do to, set up a new user within Realize Language. And what I would suggest is, if you want to use it, you can download it for free for 30 days, but you got to have data. So if you're interested in doing this, turn on data logging now and get at least 3 weeks of data going, so you have something to look at. Because if you just download it now, there's not going to be any data if you haven't been recording it. So the other thing I always say is, I always talk to, if I'm the professional, I talk to the family about it. I talk to the communicator about it, because it basically is, we're recording what they're saying on their device. And so that is kind of a privacy issue. So especially if you're talking about an older communicator or an adult, you just might, again, run that by them and, are you okay if we do this? And maybe we just turn it on for a week and then we turn it off and then we turn it on again later. So just some conversations to have as you're thinking about how you're going to use Realize Language. But it is an amazing opportunity to really look at what's being said and to look at that growth over time. Next up is AAC Learning Journey. So this is our brand new online portal, and we are really excited about this. We launched this in the spring, and it is an online website that provides different kinds of learning opportunities for you. We have self-paced e-learning modules, and we have live online instructor-led trainings, which is what you're doing right now. And you have access to those e-learning modules 24/7. So those are things that you can do on your own time at your own pace. So let's say that you are a busy teacher, a speech pathologist, another school personnel, and maybe you've got 15 minutes during the day and you're like, I think I want to check out something on Learning Journey. You could actually start a class, watch it for 10 minutes, stop, come back to it later, and it picks up where you left off. So that's why we say it's self-paced. There's some interactive parts of it. There's videos. There's lots of things. There's handouts. Some of them will provide you with ASHA CEUs if you are a speech language pathologist who uses the ASHA registry. So there's a whole way that you can set that up to get the CEUs as well. So again, it's for anybody who wants to expand their AAC knowledge in the area of products and implementation, because we have both on there. So you can take an e-learning course to learn vocabulary. So if you're new to word power, you're new to Lamp Words for Life or dialogue, which is one of our text-based vocabularies, you can take an e-learning course at your own time. If you like to learn from a live instructor, you can sign up for one of those kinds of trainings and learn along with others and have this kind of dialogue back and forth and listen to someone like Kirk and I talk. We also have short video tutorials that are designed to be more directing you on how to do something. So like if you're using an accent with Empower and you want to add a button, okay, you can watch a short video that will help you do that. And like I said, if you're a speech pathologist, you can get ASHA CEUs for many of those opportunities. So I made this little video and I'm just going to kind of narrate over it just to show you. So this is when you go to AAC Learning Journey. Now you do have to sign in, and I'm already signed into it, but you guys know how to do that or you wouldn't be here right now. But you have a PRC Saltillo account that is free. And that account is what you use if you get a subscription to Language Lab, you get a subscription to Realize Language. That's the same account you're going to use for Learning Journey. So you're going to sign in with your free password, username and password, and you'll come to the home screen. And this is kind of what the home screen looks like. Okay, so then you can scroll down and you'll see right here that we've got some tiles, and these tiles represent more training. So if you want to learn about the technology, the devices, the hardware, the vocabulary, you've got those options. We've got technology and vocabulary, the apps. So if you're using Touch Chat with Word Power, Lamp Words for Life, or Dialogue, those are the apps. This is very important. If you're a speech pathologist and you want ASHA CEUs, you want to check this tile out, because this is going to give you the information one time to put in your ASHA number in your PRC Saltillo account, and then no more purple boxes that you have to fill in like the old days. We will submit that for you to the registry, but you need to make sure your ASHA number's in here. So this tile is where you're going to want to go to look at that. I mentioned the vocabulary. So if you want to learn about Word Power, you want to learn about Lamp Words for Life or Unity, MnSpeak Academy is brand new. We'll be talking more about that in the coming weeks, but we're excited to launch MnSpeak Academy here. And then if you're familiar with LAMP approach trainings, language acquisition through motor planning, this is where you can go to get information about those. And those are held online and also in person now. Okay, let me drag this. Okay, so if I go into the devices, you can see I've got access to the accent devices. So I want to learn about an accent with Empower, access methods. If I want to take a live course, you'll see it says instructor-led training. That lets you know it's a live course. Okay, here's the NovaChat side. So I can learn more about NovaChat. There's one on customizing your NovaChat. So you'll be able to tell when you look at these trainings, it'll either say e-learning or instructor-led for live. There's one on the VIA. These are our big trainings that are coming up on Monday. So if you're interested in these Unraveling the Mystery, all of these are free and they are live instructor-led trainings, but you're welcome to sign up for those. Those are the emulators. That's information about using the PASS software, the Empower demo, and chat editors. You can see that on here as well. And then we have information about the apps. So here's Touch Chat, Lamp Words for Life, and Dialogue. So you'll see if it says e-learning or ILT, instructor-led, that lets you know which kind of course it is. Scroll through here. LAMP stuff. Implementation. So if you want to learn about getting beyond basic requesting, you want to learn about learning to read with AAC. Some of the courses do have a fee if they are considered more intermediate content. So you might see they might be $5 or $10. Most of the courses right now are free. That is AAC Learning Journey, and we are really excited for that new program. I have a bonus thing for you really quick, but as we are going to be wrapping up and then taking your questions. So a bonus resource for you is AAC Group Coaching. And this is a project that I am very involved in. This is a 4-week session specifically for parents and families. It is 4 weeks. So there are 4 self-paced e-learning modules and 4-hour-long live online meetings and 6 participants in a group. So it's $200 for your 4-week session, and you have 8 sessions, 4 e-learning courses and 4 live meetings. It's for parents and family members who are interested in learning how to improve their communication partner skills. So it's designed, it's not a direct therapy. It's really helping families learn how to create more opportunity for their AAC communicators. And it also brings people together. I've run these groups for a year now, and it's amazing how parents will connect with each other and feel support from someone that's across the country, because we've had people from all over the US and Canada and Hawaii participate. Parents and family members can sign up for that 4-week session where they get a live session once a week. They use those strategies taught each week at home, and then they can come to the group and share the experience. And so they're learning alongside with family members and, kind of learning from other people, maybe what works in their family. So I don't have a child with a disability who uses AAC, so I don't have the same perspective, but we bring these people together, and a lot of times they provide a lot of support and encouragement for each other. The AAC Group Coaching has been a really great resource for us. We went through a lot of resources, and we'll stop in a minute and see if you have any more specific questions. But one of the things you can make sure you want to do is talk to your AAC consultant, because they can provide you with even more resources. They are your person on the ground. Kirk showed you at the beginning how to find your consultant. Back on that PRC Saltillo website, it says find your consultant, and you can either look at the big map or put in your zip code to find that out. So some of the things that your consultant can do for you, they can come on site to your home, to your school, to your daycare, to your clinic, to your hospital, provide product and vocabulary demonstration. So they can bring equipment and you can get your hands on it. They can help you with getting a trial device. So let's say you've had an evaluation and your evaluator is recommending a trial with some equipment. They can help get that, and they can also guide you through the funding process with support that way. They are great with implementation ideas. So they are fabulous with, what are some ways we can use this at home? What are some ways we can use this in the classroom? They can come in and do a training for an ABA center, a school, a hospital, a clinic, and so forth. And they love to do that. Our consultants are very passionate people who love what they do. This is Brittany in this picture, and I think you can just see the joy on her face. She just loves what she does. So certainly take advantage of the consultants in your area who can provide you with some of that support.
So I just wanted to go back and talk about, the different resources that we went over tonight. We did go through the AAC Learning Journey. We also went through the PRC-Saltillo.com site, which has quite a number of resources on that, and also in the waffle in the upper left-hand corner is where you can gain access to all of the other sites that we talked about this evening. So you don't have to remember all of these sites and all the names of it, because that's going to be a little hard, but you can always just remember the one, prc-saltillo.com, and that'll get you all of the information there. This is a handout that Beth was referring to, and this was the handout that is on AAC Learning Journey. So when you signed up for the class or when you joined the class, you should have seen, or will see when you go back into Learning Journey, that the handout is there for you to download.
Yep, so you'll have access. These are actually links as you run over them. You can click on these. These will take you to the sources, the resources that we talked about in this class. So that will be there for you.
Okay, so any questions?
Yeah, with that, we're happy to answer any questions about anything, but we're glad that you joined us just to kind of run through some of these resources. We know we have a lot of different things, and sometimes people ask us, well, what's the difference between Explore AAC and Language Lab, or why would I want to use Realize Language? So we just thought it'd be nice to kind of spend some time going through some of these things and sharing them with people.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the Realize Language, I often model language on their device. So it would be capturing everything that's being selected, correct?
It does. It does capture everything that's the data that is used on the device. So, a lot of people will try to model on a separate device. Or the other thing that I tried to keep in mind when I was using the device in the schools, and we kind of had people modeling on it, was that I also looked at, well, I want to know if it's being used. So sometimes I track that. It might not be that the person themselves, the communicator, was making the selections, but if I saw that it was being used, I was another way to track that people were modeling for him.
That's a great perspective. And I saw that there is like an emulator. Can that be used for an iPad? I know it can be used for a computer.
No, the emulators are for Windows computers only. So Chat Editor, which is the one for Word Power, and Pass, which is the one for MinSpeak and LampWords for Life, Unity and LampWords for Life. Those are on a Windows computer. Now, some people, I will tell you, on the Language Lab, we have a great feature called Smart Chart Generator. So if you're someone who has a Mac computer and you want to be able to make those smart charts, but you can't make them using can't download the Pass software, you can go to, with your subscription to AAC Language Lab, you can use the Smart Chart Generator to make your own smart charts with symbols.
Thank you.
Sure. As I mentioned, we do have some e-learning courses, like diving into the AAC Language Lab. That's a great e-learning course if you want to learn more about the Language Lab. Russell Cross does live classes on Realize Language. We also have an e-learning course on Realize Language. We have e-learning courses on LampWords for Life vocabulary, on Word Power, on Unity, So there's lots of things you can find on that AAC Learning Journey that can kind of get, that can be helpful. So even if there's something that maybe you personally think, oh, I don't know that I would need this. I love the way you guys are kind of crowdsourcing and saying, oh, someone told me this and someone told me that. So you can feel free to share this information with your colleagues and other parents and family members that anybody can go on and look at those courses. You cannot get credit by viewing the recordings. We don't have any way to track that. Now, if you're looking at an e-learning course in AAC Learning Journey, yes, you can get credit for those. Thanks everyone for coming out this evening. Share the information. You can contact Kirk or I if you have any other questions about anything. Reach out to the PRC Saltillo consultant in your area. Check out our online resources. We are happy to provide you with anything that you need.
Thanks so much, everyone.